Hi, so I'm Huda. I'm just finishing actually to money mindset coaching and spiritual money mindset. I'm originally from Morocco. I grew up quite a bit in France as well, so I became French by adoption, and currently I live in Sydney. I'm a romantic. It's pretty high. It's 38 for me. And second is nurturer, connector, celebrity, pretty close. And I think I was a suppressed celebrity, and she's coming up.
So what was your first reaction, either to the name or to the description of hearing that you were a romantic? Or was it just one of those things where you went, oh my God, that is totally me?
And I wasn't surprised at all. I'm a Cancer as well. So like that kind of romantic has always been part of my life in my romantic relationships as well. And hearing your video describing the archetype, oh my God, it was just so me, the easygoing, the abundance. I know at home used to say money comes and goes and there will be always more, so don't worry. And I still remember one thing that really spoke to my heart was secretly ignoring money problems and secretly wishing they would solve themselves. That something I was doing unconsciously, and it was just so spot on. Yeah, really all of it. It just made so much sense.
So the next question I want to ask you is, have you always been like this? Okay, so I'll just type it in here as well. Think about your childhood and being a baby romantic. That's what I'm putting there. So I want to hear, and we're going to start, we started with Jenny last time, so we'll start with Katie for this time. Think about you as a kid. Were you teased for wanting what you wanted? Did your family have a nickname for you? You know, someone was saying at the start about being called spoiled. What were some of the signs that you were a romantic even from a really young age?
Yeah, I used to be, as a kid, my mom used to tell me that I was slow. And I remember I used to think, and that's something actually that's been coming up recently as a limiting belief. And I love taking my time. I love taking my time to get ready. And actually, it was just this morning that I had an aha on the link, a relationship in between romantic and being always late. I think there's a bit of ADD in there as well, and time blindness, but there is a part as well of being on my couch doing something and not want to just start getting ready. And yeah, as well, I grew up feeling poor, although we were middle class, but we went to a private school with plenty of rich kids. I'm talking people being dropped off with drivers and having lots of help at home and huge villas and houses. So obviously I felt poor and yeah, grew up daydreaming. And it's funny because I wonder how much, I wonder if I didn't have a bit of more ruler or maybe celebrity energy or how much I was influenced by my cartoon heroes as a kid, because it was a lot about my dream was to become rich and make a lot of money. And it was all about working hard and succeeding at school. So I was the A girl, I was the good girl, and like all the good grades. I was also a bit of a tomboy, but at the same time, I loved my Barbies as well, and I was very girly in some other aspects and areas. So there was a bit of duality in there. And yeah, daydreamer, definitely there. Everything I'm saying now, everything I have today in my life, I've dreamt of. When I remember being 11, I used to share my room with my brother and journaling and dreaming that by the time I graduate high school, I just go and live abroad and travel the world. And we didn't even have the finances for that at the time. And it happened. Like when I was 19, like we moved to France afterwards. My dad had them as part of his job. And yeah, we went to an international business school. At 19, I was in Argentina, then I lived in Dubai. Like all of it really happened. So yeah, that was, I think there's quite a bit of romantic when I was a kid, but I'm wondering which other archetype was pretty high on that working hard, having the good grades. Although a teacher did point out, although I had all the good grades, I wasn't actually working hard. That's what came up naturally. I think I used to take life super seriously. And that's the difference. I never really worked hard. I would do my homework like on a Monday morning at 4 a.m. Because I spent the weekend procrastinating it and just within the 2 hours I write the essay and just go there. Yeah, the last minutes, I think that's definitely influenced by the romantic. And yeah, I did wish, oh my God, that's horrible to say, that my rich uncle would have been my dad. I'm feeling so good to say it. Sorry, Dad. It was just about money. And my dad, I think my dad and my family, they're both, my mom and dad, romantics. My dad used to live paycheck to paycheck, saying, why deprive my kids? He grew up very poor. He lost his dad when he was 5, so grew up very, very poor with all my grandma, and they were 4 boys. And for him, like, his life dream was to give us everything, so paycheck to paycheck, and we knew his payday exactly, and not to ask for anything in the week prior because he'd be in a bad mood. And then once the paycheck comes, like, it's everything for us. He would, I think he's a big nurturer as well, he would give us just everything, and he would say, we don't take any of it with us in the tomb. So why save? Why deprive my kids so that I can buy an apartment? What if there's an earthquake one day and, I'd be asked, where's your apartment? And say, up there in the air. It's just not there. So saving, I never saved. That was a struggle, even though when I was making a quite big corporate salary, I got all the raises and promotions and everything, just navigated like a princess, really. I love your Barbie video. I just laughed so much on the princess dress. I had colleagues at work some colleagues would call me princess. That's how I navigated corporate work. Very easy, delegating and taking life easy. Yeah, having things, just wishing for things and they happen. So yeah.
So now I want to go, and we're going to start with Tennille for this one. I want to go to your businesses and how your romantic is showing up in your business. And I want to do sabotages first. Where is it sabotaging your income or, your enjoyment of your business, or where is it kind of clashing? So a couple of examples could be the procrastination thing of just never feeling like it's the right timing, or you can't be bothered. Or if things get a little bit hard, maybe you ditch them. It could be around team. So, you could get really enthusiastic about a project, but not necessarily give all the information to your team, or you just haven't got around to team. It could come up in your pricing. So Stacey, especially when you talk, were you able to make sure you were pricing appropriately for all of the quality materials that you put in? Is it showing up in the type of clients that you're attracting? Or, especially think back to before you did SMA. So it might not be now, it might be, at the start of your business, little things that you saw were kind of sabotaging you from making money.
Sabotage is for me definitely procrastination. I mean, it's been a big problem and challenge, and it's really just getting my butt to sit at my chair at my desk and start doing something. And I think one big one is that I burnt out in my corporate job. So I resigned in December 2017, and I was like, okay, let's start a business. And I had taken the life coaching training prior to that. So that's where the resistance really started in me getting action. And I wonder as well if my romantic isn't that high because of the burnout, and that kind of brought it up. And just recently, actually, I realized how sad the burnout made me feel, that I let myself down, that I abandoned myself. And one thought that keeps happening in my head is, that's the reason, like the only reason I'm doing all this, all the struggles of entrepreneurship is just so I can have the flexibility and do what I want to do and take my time having breakfast in the morning. I would take at least 1 hour, like just waking up and having breakfast and then coming and then, oh, I want to go for a walk and then come back and then, oh, I need to shower. And then it's lunchtime and then, okay, let's prepare lunch. And then before I know it, and then, oh, I needed a little nap. I cannot possibly work. I'm so tired. And then take a nap or lie down for a bit, and then it's 4 p.m. and I'm like, oh my god, it's 4 again. I didn't do anything. So when I say I didn't do anything, it's not like ruler who works for 7 hours and they didn't do anything. It's like literally I didn't set up my desk. So that brought a lot of shame actually, and it's really took me a lot of time to start talking about it and hearing. I secretly thought until a few months ago that I was the only one who was dealing with procrastination as an entrepreneur. I really thought that. And then around Steam, I still didn't hire VA, but I dream of the day. Like I just cannot wait to hire someone. I wonder why I didn't do it. So in between, I took contracting jobs and I made quite a lot of money actually that didn't count, either from unemployment money I applied for, and it was really little chance. I was told it was 9 out of 10 applications were rejected, and I said, oh, I'll be the 1% that the 1 out of 10, and I was, and that was pretty a lot. That was in France. There was a lot of money, and not so long ago I did the math. I made in 2.5 years I made 230K from contracting, but in my head, but first of all, I don't know where the money is or why I went. I have no clue. When I realized this, I was like, oh my god, I made that much, really? And I was like, where is it? A little bit of it is invested, which is a first. That's been married to an accumulator since. Definitely driven by him. But other than that, yeah, and it didn't count in my head because I was so focused that it didn't come from coaching. And that's kind of my life purpose and what I wanted to do. So yeah, still a little bit, but definitely looking forward to being able to hire a VA, and I'm great at delegating and just delegate stuff and really, really struggling on a daily basis to do the things I don't feel like doing. Or I would go for a walk and then have these post ideas, all these ideas in my head, and I actually write it in my head. And then by the time I come home, it's just gone and like sitting there, like the energy. I related a lot on the need to feel inspired in the moment and aligned, and yeah, to get creative and get things going. And on pricing, actually, it's for me, I have to sit down. I've always been on the higher set of pricing. I think that incorporates with the salaries as well. Like in the, so I use the I deserve it. So like, oh, I deserve that. Of course, I deserve that salary. And I would just go for it, and always had the highest salaries in the teams. Like I would reach in a point in the negotiation where the boss would tell me, I cannot offer you any higher because that would be unfair to others. And I would say, well, it's not my problem if they don't know how to negotiate and stand up for themselves. Why is that impacting me? I have my skills and I'm competent. So in terms of pricing, I'm actually even trying to balance that and saying, as I'm starting out, maybe start a little bit lower and then increase. So it's been a challenge actually to go into that mentality, saying, okay, it's okay to make it easy for people to hire me at first and then increase little by little rather than going for the higher tickets straight away. So launching, it was a lot of procrastination when I launched, a lot of resistance, and just I worked with a ruler coach and just hearing, I can still remember the slides, hard work and discipline, and just thinking about it actually burnt me out. I remember after a couple of weeks, I Netflix binge for 3 weeks. I was just like a vegetable on my couch. I now I think I get burnt out just from thinking that I have to be disciplined and work hard. And now it's just like really SMA helped me make peace with that, and that's it's okay, and finding the easy way. I think that was really, really a huge change, because I was so frustrated, so ashamed of myself, and that was it's really just understanding how the archetype works and trying to go. It's okay to go for the easy path and seeing what's easier for me. It's making a huge difference. That's in terms of the peace it's bringing me at this stage.
Just your final thoughts of like, what did you tweak and change in your business after taking SMA and knowing that you're a romantic, having the permission for things to be easy? Did you change things? Did you change who you worked with? Did you change your prices? Did you change your business model? Did you quit things and let things go? Were you able to, create stuff that makes it flow for you as a romantic? So
I relate so much to what Stacey just said. In terms of that's where I'm at in finding the fun again in my business and in trying to follow all those processes and stuff. It's just killed my vibe. And just now, actually, as I started surrendering and even letting go of the outcome and of the money goal and just doing it for the process and enjoying, things started coming. Like just a few days, I got invited to the roundtable, and then another invitation to webinar came in. I was like, oh my God, this is me. This is my life. Things come to me. Like it's happening again. And yeah, SMA definitely changed my life, and I'm changing my business model. And so when I in the first live of SMA last year, when I joined, was just at the time I was finishing my beta version of a course that I was just launching. So I was, while my romantic was happy in having, a course out there and then running on passive and the passive income thing, then I realized, well, two things. My romantic wasn't happy, like the lifetime access model that my mentor was encouraging us was like, lifetime. What does that mean? I cannot commit for my lifetime. I love what I do, and it was weekly calls as well, and the weekly calls, even bi-monthly. I made them bi-monthly even for my beta, because weekly was just too much for my romantic, and even that bi-monthly was too much. But what I realized is that my other archetypes, nurturer and connector, weren't happy because people were not joining the call so much. They did the work, but I didn't get to be there with them. And then I started contracting for this company, doing one-on-one for corporate. And then I realized, oh my God, one-on-one, I love one-on-one. I just have to show up in there. I don't have to prepare for anything, no course to record, no funnels or so whatsoever. I just need to show up for the one-on-one, and then it's done. So I'm swapping definitely to one-on-one and high tickets one-on-one, because it just feels so aligned. My romantic is happy because I don't have to prepare anything. I'm keeping myself very mindful of not over promising to send things after the call. That's definitely thanks to SMA. I would always, like being a nurturer and connector, just overcommit, being in the energy in the moment to doing things after and sending things, and then just never bother and procrastinate for 2 weeks before doing it. So now I'm being mindful of that before I promise anything. And really, yeah, that's been really I think the main change in my business model, and just taking completely other turn, not excluding putting up a group coaching program at some point, but running completely passive, like more easily than that. And for now, I just cannot deal with another launch. Like I love it, just putting content out there as I feel it and having people come in, and yeah, no official launch with a deadline to have a certain number of clients with a deadline. That's putting me off now. I can't deal with that. I had a bad experience.
I appreciate your time so much. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your ideas and your generous sharing with each other.
So, are you a ruler, a connector, or a maverick? Hang on, maybe you're more of a romantic or a celebrity. Take the money personality quiz right now and find out which of the 8 money archetypes you are. And then I'm going to teach you how to profit from your strengths and make money in your business based on your natural personality. Click below and find out more.